What it do, what the business is, word on the street, Christian on the handle it. Welcome to More Insight. This is insight you can trust because there is more where it came from. We're on our way to 2,000, y'all. Make sure y'all like, make sure y'all subscribe, make sure y'all lock in with us. The Atlanta Falcons, y'all, they have dropped their jerseys today. And, I have a 4-year-old son. His name is Kari, Christopher Kari to be exact. And there are moments, here's the struggle. I mean, if you're married, you know this situation as well. Hey, what's for dinner tonight? The question we never want to hear because the answers always create some type of issue. So you throw out some places. Hey, what do you think about Zaxby's? What do you think about Burger King? What do you think about, our favorite seafood restaurant around the corner? No, I don't want this. I don't want that. And then you finally land on the place and it's like, okay, cool. We can do that. That's what the Falcons have done for me. When we look back, the Falcons basically said, all right, we don't want Raheem Morris. Terry Fontenot, you're out. We don't want you. Kirk Cousins, you're out. We don't want you. Then as Falcons fans, you adjust. You say, okay, cool. So what y'all got coming in? What you got coming in? But the Falcons say, we like Kevin Stefanski. We're going to bring him in. He's the new head coach, former Browns head coach, as you know. Fans ain't like it. The fans did not like it. Well, let me rewind a little bit. Matt Ryan comes in. Fans like it. Cool. Matt Ryan, greatest QB in Falcons history. Cool. We like that. Kevin Stefanski. We don't like that. Then you make your first signing of the free agency period. Tua, good old double T. Tua Tagovailoa, he signs with the Atlanta Falcons on a 1-year deal. Fans ain't happy about that. Like, what is happening here? It's been a lot of give and take being an Atlanta Falcons fan. You get Matt Ryan, you get Ian Cunningham, you're glad to see a brother get a job who also just hired James Scott as well in the front office. So, you got two brothers in the front office. Kudos. Shouts out to y'all. Make something happen. And then today, the day after April's Fools, you would hope that these new uniforms that they dropped would have been released on April Fools because these are terrible. Well, let me, if you have not seen it already, let's see here. These are the new Falcons jerseys. And, I guess this is fine. If you had a participation trophy, that'll be fine in this kind of scenario as well. This is very much, if you like it, I love it. Because, when we say that, we actually don't love it at all. We don't love this. If you look at this red uniform, which is looking to be the primary color, is giving very much Arizona Cardinals. I will say the only one that I like is probably this white with the black pant combo. That's pretty cool. It's just not doing anything for me. The Falcons said that this will be timeless. The time is already up to get rid of these. You know how someone remodels the kitchen and they just paint it the same color? That's what this is. That's what these uniforms are. Like, these ain't gonna move the needle. Of course they're gonna sell jerseys just because they're the Atlanta Falcons and, fans gonna be fans. But my thing is, being that this is the city of Atlanta, this is the city where the players play, and we ride on them things like every day. Like, this is the home of T.I., man. Like, what are we doing here? This is the home of Outkast. This is the home of Black Hollywood. What are we doing here? We got all this energy, all this good vibes, but you giving us like piss poor work ethic. Like, what's happening here? The Falcons are trying to be authentic, fast, timeless. And I said, this is offensive. It's very forgettable. Come on. And very outdated. I mean, this is terrible. Now, let's kind of talk about what actually matters, because the uniform will wash away. They'll probably be done with these in a couple of years. But going back to like some of the Falcons news, um, keeping the main thing, we still got to worry about on the field. We look crazy on the field, but as far as players and personnel goes, there's a new coach, there's a new GM, new president of football, and now we have a new assistant general manager. This week, the Atlanta Falcons hired Jeff Scott from the Philadelphia Eagles as their assistant general manager. Jeff has spent the last 5 seasons with the Philadelphia Eagles, including the last 2 as vice president of football operations. And here's the receipt you got to pull. So Ian Cunningham, he also worked with the Eagles from 2017 to 2021. So Cunningham, he brought in a guy that he knows, brought in a guy that he trusts. That's what, life is all about. It's all about who you know. It's about who you've worked with, and that's how we keep this thing pushing. NFL, relationships are the whole business. That's why you continue to see a certain demographic of coaches that are continuously placed as head coaches in the NFL, because it's based on who you know. If you don't know there's an individual over here, hey, you ain't gonna get that job, brother. But what I really do like about this is that Jeff Scott, if you are familiar with the Philadelphia Eagles, you have seen what they have done in that draft room. You've seen what Howie Roseman has done with that team. He's made some incredible trades. He's made some incredible deals. So, in Philadelphia, they say, in Howie we trust. And I would believe that Jeff Scott has learned from under Howie Roseman on how to, scout, how to evaluate talent. And I believe that that's going to pay major dividends for the Atlanta Falcons. Don't be surprised, if we see Jeff get another job within the next 2 to 3 years. Now, within those 2 to 3 years, let's talk about this 1 year. Tua Tagovailoa, Atlanta signed him to a 1-year deal. Now, I need y'all to understand that this is for $1.3 million. 1.3, not 175 or whatever Kirk Cousins just signed for with the Las Vegas Raiders. Essentially, it's a 1-year, $20 million deal, but on paper, and let me make sure I got this number right. This is ridiculous. Let's see here. Matter of fact, let me just go to here. So that deal is $172 million on a 5-year deal. So technically what the report says is 1 year for $20 million. And even then it's like, what are you doing? Like, what did you see in Kirk Cousins? But at the same time, it's like, if the Raiders are scheduled to get, they're talked about getting Francisco Mendoza with the first pick. He doesn't look like an NFL-ready quarterback to me, but hey, what do I know? So at least you get someone who can help him along the way. Now, back to the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons are essentially getting a Pro Bowl caliber quarterback on a coupon. If you know, coupons help you save money. So it's basically like finding a Michael Kors bag at the Goodwill store. That's what the signing of Tua Tagovailoa gives me. It's like finding a Michael Kors bag at the Goodwill store. The previous team or the owner, the previous owner of the bag, or the previous owner or the previous team that this player played with, had some problems with it, found no more use for it, got rid of it. But at that price, you at least got to try it on. So the Falcons are trying it on. I saw someone say that right now the Atlanta Falcons are the redeemed team, because Tua is trying to redeem his career. Kevin Stefanski is trying to redeem his career as a head coach, and I actually have some legs with it. So I'm gonna run with it. Now, outside of Michael Penix and Tua both being left-handed quarterbacks, it's a decent signing, because the other question is, if you don't sign Tua, who else could you? And based on the market, there's not too many options out there. So I'm okay with a Tua. They also signed Trevor Siemian, and you also still have Easton Stick on the roster. Yes, Easton Stick. And that sounds like a bust. So here's the thing. Tua has not shown the ability to thrive outside of the Mike McDaniel's quarterback-friendly offense. Even in that system, he definitely has some major struggles when the first option wasn't available. And of course, dealing with its injury history, he's trying to get that ball out within 3 seconds. So, it's not it's a concern, but, it seems like, at one point in time, the whole thing in the league was tank for Tua. Now, I'm not going to say that the Falcons are tanking with Tua, but I wouldn't look forward to anything from the Atlanta Falcons on this year. A lot of their signings have been a lot of one-year deals. There's not a lot of long-term contracts. That's just because they're trying to rebuild this team and put it in the image that they want to see. In the image of Ian Cunningham, in the image of what Matt Ryan wants to see, in the image of what Kevin Stefanski wants to see. And the universe is just funny in that way because, I remember 6 years ago, like I said, everyone was tanking for Tua, and now we actually have Tua. And in that year, we actually took not Michael Penix, but Kyle Pitts. So it's kind of funny how, the universe works. And here's the other thing. We have Michael Penix, who's still recovering from ACL surgery. It looks like Tua is going to be the bridge while Michael Penix heals. And at worst, it's low-cost insurance. At best, he gives them something to actually evaluate at the position. I will say that on a one-year deal, Tua is playing not only for his future with the Falcons, but his future in the NFL. At this point, you can either become like the next Geno Smith, kind of revive your career, or you could be like Justin Fields. And that's no shade to Justin Fields. It's certainly a high-stakes audition. The Falcons have eventually turned 2026 into a tryout for Penix and Tua. And it looks like they're going to be, in a good place financially for cap space in 2027. Kirk Cousins' money comes off the books. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens next year. And essentially that's what you're looking at. So 2026, don't anticipate much. Don't if you know anything about life, if you know anything about relationships and people and dynamics, when you set expectations low, you don't really find yourself getting hurt. And as a Falcons fans, your expectations are already low. I get it. We don't have to go down the history of why, your self-esteem and your belief and your fanism is with the Atlanta Falcons. I get it. But 2026 is going to be the pilot episode for the future of the Atlanta Falcons. 27 will be where you can actually start seeing how the show is being run. So will it be frustrating? Absolutely. Will it be rational? Not right now. No, not right now. The Falcons, in so many words, have said that they are rebuilding without saying that they are rebuilding. What they didn't tell us is that rebuilding sometimes looks like confusion before it looks like construction. And that's where they are right now. I'm not going to run down the list of players that they've signed, but just know, like I said earlier, typically they are all on 1-year deals. James Pierce Jr. definitely has a situation that he has to not even get resolved. James Pierce has issues that he needs to resolve within himself. It's beyond the Falcons at this point. Based on the allegations, based on what reports are saying, I would just say James Pierce is a non-factor at this point. Like, you have to move forward like he's not even on the team. So, the Falcons are not trying to win the offseason. They're trying to win in 2027. And that's going to require a lot of humility. It's going to require a lot of patience. But I will say, when you have a team that's full of players on 1-year deals, there's a lot of hunger in that locker room, man. It's a lot of people playing for their jobs and their careers. So effort shouldn't be an issue. It should not be an issue with this year of the Atlanta Falcons. And before I get out of here, I want to go back to these uniforms, man. So I will say, shouts out to the Atlanta Falcons for getting Andre 3000 to be a part of the rollout. He narrated one of the videos. But they're so authentic, fast, and timeless, man. That's how much time it explains their thought process of this jersey. It's authentic, yeah. Fast, absolutely, because y'all didn't take no time to think about it. And timeless, because again, yeah, y'all didn't take no time. But let's go through some of the comments. This comment from Matt Paulus: this franchise is allergic to giving their fans what they want. And I just talked about it. There's so many times, as you're talking to kids, you're talking to your significant other, what's for dinner? You can never come up with something. Somebody says a perfect mix of the Texans and Cardinals. This team never fails to make me want to be a fan of a different team. So basically just the exact uniforms they had before the previous ones. Yeah. I mean, so much wasted potential. Where are the red helmets? Hello. Not going to lie, they look like middle school jerseys. And that's some of the things that I was thinking, like, bro, what are we doing here? There are high school football teams in the state of Georgia who have uniforms that look better than the Atlanta Falcons right now. So while the Falcons are trying to figure it out, the draft is in a couple of weeks. They're still trying to figure out what this team is going to look like in 2026. And, we'll tackle it again. We'll come back again with some more insight about the Atlanta Falcons. I am your host. I am Chris Moore. This is Insight You Can Trust because there is more where it came from. Help me get to 2000. Let me hear what y'all think about the jerseys in the comments. Let me hear what you think about the team in general in the comments. So I look forward to hearing back from you. Again, road to 2000. Help us get there. Help us with your support. Lock in with us. Become a member. Support the channel that way as well.